Hey, what's up? This is another episode of Watch You Strappin', and today this is the HKED Bundeswehr version 3 or V3, and this is the black version, the classic black on black. You can get these in different configurations. I think you can get this with a steel bezel, a reverse, I guess a reverse panda, a panda, I think white with black subdials, and of course the reverse panda is the other way. And blue, and I think it's a blue panda too. And yeah, but I went with the classic. It's I think it's the only version that also has sterile dial. I mean, it doesn't have the HKED branding on the near the 12. So which would have been fine, but I just like this. And I've always liked the Bundeswehr, like the Heuer Bundeswehr. It's a Bundeswehr. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing it correct, but you know the watch. It's a 60s, 70s pilot chronograph design. Definitely it was used by the German military, and at least the Luftwaffe back then, around the 60s and 70s. And not sure what they transitioned to, but this is just a classic pilot chronograph look. Of course, you've seen this style, probably I believe pioneered by Breguet in the Type 20, at least one of the earlier versions. They've kind of have a number of different Type 20s and other types. And Zenith also has a version of this, and of course Sinn. I believe they were producing. I think they were helping manufacture these watches back in the day too for Heuer. But anyways. Yeah, HKED did a great job. I'm going to do a full review on this later, but quickly, I think they did a great job at really replicating the look of this, and in all the details. I mean, you really look at it, there's a couple of things I noticed that are a little bit different, but overall, I mean, the scale at 43 millimeters is about right, and the thickness, I think this is no more than 13. But it was relatively thin and flat, and probably the biggest difference, and I think that makes it most wearable, is because the lug is rather seemingly, well, it is kind of on the long side at I think 51 to 52 almost millimeters. What helps the wearability, especially on wrists that aren't that big too, is just the fact that look how well those lugs curve down. I mean, they really curve down really nicely, and so you don't really get any overhang, and so it just fits really well. And you know, I generally try to stay these days within the 40 millimeter range or so, give or take a millimeter. But some watches, especially tool watches, they just are designed and should be a certain proportion in size, and I'm fine with that. And that this being 43, it's supposed to be legible, easy to use, and all that. And I think despite its seemingly larger size, it actually wears scale wise pretty well. It should have some presence, and that's fine, you know. I don't think you could get a smaller pilot's watch, you know, 40 or below, but honestly, I think in general they should remain above a certain size to really give it a, you know, match the style and the design that it was intended for, the purpose that it was intended for. You know, being too dinky, it doesn't really help. That's why I am surprised sometimes when I hear that for instance, the classic Lycine Airmen were popular for the U.S. military, you know, their Air Force pilots and stuff. And that's a pretty small watch at 36 millimeters with all the details, which I once owned as well. But anyways, I really like this style, and I think it works great. I'll show it off more later, but yeah, it's just on its stock perforated strap. This probably definitely, I'm not a big bund strap wearer, but probably should get one just to play it up and really match the look, you know, from time to time, as it was originally designed with, to be on a bund strap. But it works fine with like any kind of regular strap and NATOs, and it's a strap monster, and it's great. It's got drilled lug holes. So again, let me try to back up a little bit, give you some perspective. You know, it's not that tall really, and I think the fact that the top half is black Helps divide the case and make it look thinner, and just it has really good curve shape, and for such a long 51, almost 52, I think, millimeters. I gotta check again, but I think that's what it stated. As long as the lugs are curved down well, it can definitely be pulled off. And I have a sub 7-inch wrist too, like 6 3/4, or actually somewhere between that and just under 7 inches. And I think it works just fine. Anyways, that's about it. Thanks. Laters.